Welcome to the 1204. So recently I made a video about a British patriot, Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch was arrested and jailed. He was jailed for 2 years. But Peter could not do the time. So he chose the coward's way out and committed suicide. Committed suicide over 2 years in prison. Couldn't hack it. Didn't have the guts to face up to his actions. And he took the easy way out. Just like his name, I am assuming he lynched himself because he couldn't face the music. So I received backlash over my commentary on Peter Lynch. I am not surprised at all. But one guy left a comment on my video and he was telling me that non-white people do not get arrested for having an opinion. Well, first of all, he spoke about Chris Kaba, telling me that Chris Kaba was a criminal. And then he goes on to tell me that non-white people don't get arrested for having an opinion, and non-white people are not sent to prison for hate speech, and the police are protecting the grooming gangs. Now, based on this plonker's comment, this guy obviously did not even listen to the video he's commenting on. Because if he did listen to the video, and he's obviously not gone through my page, because this guy assumed that I was sad or shedding tears for Chris Kaba. Now, I made a video about Chris Kaba, but this guy obviously didn't see that video. Just like he obviously did not, listen to the video he actually commented on. Because if he listened to the video, he would have seen that I gave more than one example of a non-white person who was arrested and jailed for hate speech. Arrested and jailed for having an opinion. Because that's what hate speech is, right? It's just an opinion. So unless you, my friend, are living underneath a rock, where do you think Anjem Chowdhury is? Wasn't he given a life sentence for simply having an opinion? Now, it doesn't matter the context of the opinion. It's still an opinion, and he is given a life sentence for it. This was somebody who was very, very active on social media. But the government dealt with him. They shut him up. And when they saw that he wasn't willing to be shut up, they made sure he was shut up by putting him away forever. Where do you think Abu Izzadeen is? Abu Izzadeen was somebody who was also big on social media. Now, he was in and out of prison for simply having an opinion. It don't matter the context of the opinion. They had an opinion, and the government didn't like it, they silenced them. Anthony Small, former British light middleweight, the 154 division, which is light middleweight, former British middleweight, former British light middleweight champion, Anthony Small, recently changed his name to Abdul Haq. That guy was very big on YouTube in terms of, making loads of videos. Ever since the police put him in prison, they've told him one of his bail conditions when he was released, he's not allowed to go on social media. And he went to prison for having an opinion. In fact, that group that Ajim Chowdhury was part of, Al Majah Haroon, no longer operates. And then you talk about grooming gangs. You want to mention grooming gangs? The police have protected them? Really? Last time I checked, those guys all got hefty sentences. Even more heftier than the little baby sentence that they gave to Peter Lynch, which Peter Lynch couldn't even hack. And you've got all these non-white people doing big boy sentences, big boy birds, and they're not taking their lives. Peter Lynch took the coward's way out, whether you want to admit it or not. This guy didn't mind running his mouth. And whether you guys see, because what you guys are doing is this. And by the way, this guy pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty. If he did nothing wrong, why is he pleading guilty? Now, you guys are going to say something. I know what you guys are going to say. You're going to say he was told to do that because he was told, he can get a lighter sentence or he could go free. Well, that's funny because same thing happened to Salahuddin. Salahuddin, he was featured in that BBC documentary about, I think it's called My Brother the Terrorist. It was a white journalist whose brother was Salahuddin, who was a white convert. And he converted to Islam, hanging about with Ajim Chowdhury. Now, Salahuddin was told to plead, according to Ajim Chowdhury, he was told to plead guilty and only get 5 years in prison rather than getting 20 years. So, you guys are going on like it's only happening to, the great white patriots, which is not. Because like I told you, it don't matter if you're white, black, yellow or brown. You are not allowed to have free speech in the United Kingdom. Don't matter who you are. You're not allowed to have free speech. Free speech is not free. I keep telling people that. Free speech isn't free. You will pay for your speech. Look what's happening today. We have something called cancel culture. Now, unless you can afford to speak your opinion in public, you dare not speak it. Free speech isn't free. Everyone will pay for their speech. We see it time and time again. Nobody gets away with saying anything these days. Don't matter if you're white, black, yellow or brown. Now, just because your skin is pale, just because your last name is Smith, and your great-grandfather, he fought in the Falklands, and he fought in the World War III, and he's a proper Englishman, you're not allowed to say whatever you want to say. And the last point I'm going to make is what I said in the other video. England is not your country, I'm afraid. It doesn't belong to any of you. You guys are fighting for something that doesn't even belong to you. It belongs to the British government. And the British government have allowed those people who you're trying to terrorize into the country. They've allowed those migrants into the country. They've put them up in hotels. And you guys turning up there is not going to do a damn thing. Because the people with the power, the people whose voices actually matter, said it's okay for them to be there. So you guys can make as much noise as you want. You can kick up a fuss. It's not going to change anything. See, because what you guys want is, you guys have a bias. You guys want immunity to be able to say whatever you want. But it doesn't work like that. Tommy Robinson is no different from a Anjem Chowdhury. And Anjem Chowdhury, unlike the rest of the crazy Muslimic bastards that actually follow him, Anjem Chowdhury was actually extremely careful. He was very careful. This guy was a former lawyer, so he knew where the line was, and he did not cross the line for a while. Well, actually, he did not even cross the line at all. He knew what to say and when to say it. A lot of what Anjem Chowdhury was doing was vague. We knew what he really meant, but he was very vague. He knew how to speak. And the government, they were waiting for him to cross the line, and he wouldn't cross it. So you know what they did? They dragged him over that line. And now he'll never see daylight again. Listen, what I'm trying to say to you is this. Now, you do have free speech in a sense of, listen, you can say whatever you want to say. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's going to staple your mouth shut, literally. So you can say what you want to say. However, you will deal with whatever comes with it. Unfortunately, your speech is going to cost you. So if you want to talk the talk, then you're going to have to pay for it. One way or another. I think I might make a separate video actually about yeah. Anyway, peace.